So if I'm going to mention like select staff from EMP table where not in department number is equals to 20. Now what happens in this case here? How we will execute the output? How I'll get the output here? If I execute this query, select staff from EMP table where not in department number 20. So what happens in this case here?
Department 20.
But it shows as a missing expression over here. So why it shows as a missing expression over here?
Parenthesis must be there.
Parenthesis missing. So where I mentioned only not in department number 20 only I mentioned. So when we are using this in operator, what happens here? In operator, we are going to use the two values over here. Okay. So where I'm mentioning only one value. So it's not in operator, just opposite to the in operator here. So when I mention like department number in 20 only, it will give me department number 20 records. So where I use where not in. So how to change this query? How to change the condition here? I want to get the output like 10 and 30 over here. If I'm going to use this department number 20, the condition. So how to change this? How we can change this query? From the where condition, you
where department number not in 20.
Number not in 20. So where you're mentioning like department number not in 20 over here. So is it fine? You can use it like this. So now what happens here? If you're going to mention one specific value, so where you're mentioning first the condition over here. In the condition where column name. So department number not in 20. So obviously you're getting only the 30 and 10 records over here. So this is how we need to use this not in over here. Okay. Same thing. If you're mentioning like where ename, so where I'm mentioning ename not in, so where I'm mentioning two enames over here, like it is a king over here, I'm mentioning another one I'm mentioning like it is Smith here. So now what happens in this case here? Where ename not in king and Smith. So in our table, we are having 15 records now.
Yeah, 13 records will be there.
13 records will be displayed. So obviously what happens here? Eliminating the two records like not this king and the Smith over here, you can able to find this 13 records over here. So where we are using this not in operator. So using this not in operator also, in case, okay, in our table, I'm going to update. So this is my table, okay, this is my table. So where I'm going to update one particular update, I'm going to update only two, I'm going to eliminate two employee salaries over here. So where I'm going to eliminate the salary like it is for the Smith and the Jones over here. Okay. So where I can use it under my not in operator. How we can use it in a not in operator here? So where I going to eliminate two in employee number like 7369 and 7566. Okay. So now in my table, I'm having totally I'm having how many records here? It is having 44 records over here. I'm going to eliminate only this two employee numbers over here. Okay, the employee number are 7369 and 7566. But I want to update remaining salaries. How to use the DML operation here? Update, using update. Remaining salaries should be updated. For example, you update all the salaries 100, leaving this two employee number.
Update table name.
So without the first, you don't go to the DML operation. But first to check whether in our table, how many records we are having, duplicate records we are having in this particular employee number. Because in this table, you can able to see we are having Smith, we are having obviously double entries over here, duplicates we are having. So just find out under this 44, how many records should be updated. So accordingly, if you use that update, it should be updated. So how we can check now? Here we are having
Using
44 records.
distinct.
Using
distinct.
select
Distinct. Distinct.
Distinct. Next.
I mean that the ename.
Select distinct, the column name, the ename over here from EMP underscore BH. I'm going to give this table name. So what happens here? How many records it is showing here? It shows me 19 records, it shows me. So what happens to the remaining records?
Those are duplicate.
Those are duplicates, right? It is clear, right? So remaining records, we are having 25 records over here. Those are duplicates. So now in this 19 records, or if you're going, now we are having only single records over here, 19 records we are having, okay. So now we are going to eliminate like two employee names, okay, like it is Smith and the Johns over here. How many records will be updated actually in my table? How many records should be updated now?
17.
17 records should be updated. Why 17 records here now again? So from this 19, you are eliminating that Smith and the Jones over here, right? So you're telling like it is only 17 records. So what about remaining 8 records? Remaining records. Remaining I'm having 25 records. So totally I'm having 44 records over here. Okay, for your reference, I'm not to get confused. I'm having 44 rows over here, 44 records I'm having. Under this, I'm having duplicates also. Okay. If I'm going to do the update over here, leaving this 2 employee numbers, remaining how many records should be updated? How many records will be updated? First, we should know the count. After that, only we are going to check by using our update statement there. How to do? So what happens when we are using this in operator here? How many records we are having here? Altogether, only these 2 employee numbers, we are having 6 records over here. It is double entry. You can able to see that it is a duplicates over here. Right, under this 44, we are having 6 records duplicate over here. So leaving the 6 records, other records will be updated or not? So 38 records will be updated or not? Again, any doubts in the 38 records, whether we are having the same, how it will consider now using this update? So when I use the select query, like using this in operator, it shows me 6 records here. Actually, it is 44 records. Under the 44 records, when I'm going to check how many records in the specific employee number it is having, it shows me 6 records here. So actually, how many records will be updated? Whether it is 38, it is correct the count, or any changes is there. Otherwise, write a simple query, eliminating this 2 employee numbers, then you will get the count, right? It is simple, right? Otherwise, write one simple query, or in this query itself, you can make changes. In this query itself, you
Not
make
in.
not in. That's it.
Employee number not in.
Not in. I also giving you many clues. I've written many things over here. So what happens here? Obviously, how many records it is showing here?
38
records.
records.
So this 38 records should be updated or not? According to our concept. So 38 records should be updated. So why I use this select clause is that to find out why, because in our table we are having only 44 records, not 10 records or 6 records. If we update, we'll get the count easily. But when it is 44 records, we itself got confused, right? So to overcome that, I mentioned one query over here. So where I use this in operator here. So now, as you told, I mentioned not in. So actually it shows 38 the counter. So now we are going to do the DML operation update. So after updating, it should show us the output as 38 records here, right? So how to use that update here now? Using that update and using with the not in operator, how to add, for example, remaining salaries, we are going to add 100 over here. 100 we are going to add. So how we can add 100? How we can do
Update
the
table.
update? Update, simple query, update table. What is our table name? It is emp_bh. The table name. Check what is the column we want to add. It is salary column over here, right? Salary
Sal is equal to sal plus 100.
Sal is equals to sal plus 100. Where? What is
Where
the
employee number
where
not in
employee number not in? Same thing you are going to enter here. Not in. So where you are going to mention 7369 and 7566 here.
7366.
Next. Right? It is clear, right? Up to this, it is clear. So execute this. So what happens here? 38 rows has been updated. According to our concept, the record is matching here or not? So if you check the table, you can able to find 38 records.
We didn't commit, ma'am.
We didn't use the commit.
Commit.
It is not used, it is not showing us any records here, right? Just to wait one. If I'm going to do rollback, all the records will go. Okay, just I will use this 38 records updated. So use this commit again. So have you understood the concept, how it is working, how we are using this? So in real time, we will not be having. So what happens in this case now? For the Smith alone, it is not calculating. You can able to see. For Smith alone, it is not calculating. So previously, it was having 15,100 over here. Sorry, 15,700. So 100 has been added. So wherever it is 200, you can able to see for the Jones, it has not been added. For the Scott, it has been added. Again, for the Adams, it has been added. So for the null, what happens to the null here? Why null is not
Null.
updated?
By using NVL only, we can add to null.
Yeah, by using NVL only, we can able to update. Otherwise, what happens here? It shows like 38 rows has been updated. So according to our concept also, when you are executing this query, you are getting 38 rows. But actually null, it is not updating. So using at NVL only, we can able to update the null column over here, right? So where we are using like not in operator. So when you're mentioning specific operators over here, eliminating the two employee number, remaining it will be updated, right? In real time, you can able to see, you'll be having multiple 13,000 records or 34,000 records. So how to use? First, you write the select query over here, find out how many records, and then you go to this DML operation, right? So where this we are using it under the not in operator over here. So any doubts in this? I hope it is clear, right? So go to the next one. It is the between and not between. So these are small examples. So now we came across this one. Okay, DML operations, not in. You can able to see this. So next it is the between and not between over here. So between operator, it is used to pick the values within the specific range over here. Returns true if the value specified is within the specified range over here. It supports with all the numbers and the date value. So here, when we are using this between operators, it will support only in the number and the date value. So that if you're going to find the higher date between, so where we are using this between operator. So previously also we came across when we are using this between operator. So where we are having the example over here, like select all the employee records, fresh whose salary is between 1,000 and 2,000 over here. So what happens in this case when you're writing this 2,000, 1,000 and 2,000 over here? Okay, just execute once again. For the EMP table, we are having only 20,000. Okay, so here, if I'm going to enter it like 20,000, here I'm going to mention like it is 25,000 over here. And here I'm taking considering as 20,000. Okay, so according to our concept here, what is our question over here? So they're telling us to fetch all the salary between 20,000 and 25,000 over here. Okay, so here you are mentioning instead of writing the upper value, like lower value over here, first you are writing the highest value here, like 25,000 and 20,000. So in this case, it will execute us the query or not? It will execute or not? I changed the query. Okay, actually the query was whoever they want to record, whoever having the salary between 1,000 and 2,000. In our table, we don't have any salary like 1,000 and 2,000. We are having beyond 20, only we are having all the salary. So I change it to between 25,000 and 20,000 here. So in this case, it will execute the select query here or it will throw the error here.
We'll get the error.
It will get the error. Why we will get the error over here? So why we are getting the error? Even though we are having records into our table, so why we are throwing the error is that whenever the lower bound value is larger than the upper bound value, it shows as no row selected. That means first you should enter the lowest value, then only you should enter your highest value over here. So instead of 25,000, I'm entering here 20,000 here, and then I'm entering 25,000 over here. So obviously what happens here? According to using this between operator here, so I can able to see it is giving us the output over here. So that means where we are having 9 records according to this particular values, like between 20,000 and 25,000. So lower bound value is larger than the upper bound value, means it will throw an error over there, right? So same way, if we are going to use it in the second call, if you are going to coming to the third query here, so select staff from EMP table where job between manager and salesman here. So what happens in this case? It will give us the output or not? Job between manager and salesman.
Not.
It will not give us any output, right? So whenever we are using this between operator, so now what happens here? It is executing, but how it is executing? The output is correct or wrong? It is executing, but it is not giving us the proper data here. It is incorrect. Our
Yes.
data is incorrect. You can able to see it is added one president also, it is adding and it is giving you the output here. So when we are using this between operator, it is used only in the numbers and the date values over here. So that point we should remember. So we cannot use it for the particular like a varchar2 we cannot able to use, right? So obviously what happens, it is executing, but it shows as the improper data or the data is irrelevant over here. When you're mentioning job is equals to manager and job is equals to salesman, that condition, according to that condition, it will give us the correct accurate data. Okay, that you should just observe when you're using this between operator. So the fourth one, select ename, comma job, comma sal from a higher date from our EMP table, where higher date between. So where you mentioned like the 17th December 1981 and 20th June 1983 over here. So what happens in this particular condition here? So in a higher date, we have December 13, December 17 over here and 20th June 1983 here. Between the particular dates. So do we have any records here? How many records we will get now while executing this particular table under this table? Here we are having 15 records over here. Under this 15 records, what are the matching record according to our condition here? This is our condition between 17 December 1981 and 20th June 1983. How many records I can find? Whether it is 6 record or a 7 record, how many records we can find? No idea?
3.
How many records? It is 3 records over here. So how it is considering? From 17 December 1981 and 20th June 1983. With this output is correct or wrong? It shows 3 records over here. So that too, the date it shows like it is
Between 81 and 83.
83 1 record and 82 2 records over here. So according to our table, whether that record is correct or wrong? That output is correct or wrong? So here you can able to
Yes,
see
ma'am.
December 80, it does not belong to the particular higher
Okay.
date over here. Again, February it is not belong. February it not belong. April also does not belong. September also it does not belong to that. May also it does not belong. June also it does not belong here. Again, December it is belong. December it is belonging, right? One record. Next,
Belong.
this also does not belong. This will not belong. Next, it is the second record over here. So December again. Third, it does not belong. 3rd December, it not belong over here. Again, 23 June, January 982, does it belong here? It belongs, right? So obviously, it shows only 3 records. So it is eliminating the last record. You can able to see it is 1st Jan 2024. One entry they have entered. So obviously, it is eliminating. So while executing this, you can able to find only 3 records here. Right? Any doubt in this? Where we are using this between operator. In case if you are using like not between now, I'm using not between. So what happens now in this case?
13 records will come.
Other than that, you can able to get the output. So here you can able to find 12 records. Other than this specific higher date over here. So where we are using this between operator and the date over here and operator also along with this particular date. So in this particular, according to the particular date, higher date period, you can able to find it is eliminating this and remaining you are getting all the outputs over here, including 1st Jan 2024. So where we are using this not between. Okay. So in this not between also, returns true if the specified value is not within the specified range over here, right? So this is all about the between and the not between operator here. So coming into the, so this you can able to go through with these examples here. So next we are having like and not like. So as I told, when we are using this percentage, what happens? It is used to search the pattern for a given input. It will support all the character data over here. It will support only the character data only. Okay. So percentage, it is represent the 0 or more characters over here. Whereas underscore, it represent only 1 character here. So previously, while using in our data dictionaries, you would have come across this. So how we used? So percentage, if I'm going to give percent is equals to percentage, it will not accept. Where we are using this like operator only, under like operator only, we are going to use here. So select star from the table name where condition like the value over here. So where we are having some examples over here. List the employees whose name start with A. So what do you understood in this particular example in this query? How to write the query here? So underscore, previously we came across this. Underscore, it is going to represent only 1 character, whereas percentage, it is going to represent multiple characters, right? So in our table, select star from our EMP table. So just a second. Okay, so what is our requirement? List the employees whose name or whose e-name start with A. So how we can write the select clause here? So using like operator.
Select star.
Select star from EMP.
Table. Where rename
Where
likes
e-name. Where like. What's
A
the
percentage.
you cannot give like
percentage.
percentage. You are going to mention in quotes, a single quotes. It is a percentage over here.
Percentage.
Obviously, what happens is according to the like operator in a percentage, whoever is having the e name. So a means it's the first character. So remaining characters we don't know, right? Where we're using this percentage. So obviously it shows us 2 records over here. Same thing, another query. Select the list the name employee whose name end with S over here. So how to write the select clause here? Whose name ending with S?
Percentiles like
Employee where name employee table where e name like
Where
percentage.
percentage. Yes, percentage.
percentage S.
So last ending. So you can able to see the ending last one. It is the Jones, Adams, and James here. Okay. In case I want to find out. So next example, list the employees whose name got only 5 characters, 5 letters in our table. Whoever name is having only 5 characters over here or 5 letters here. So it is having Smith over here. It is having Allen here. So Jones, it is having Next it is the break. Next is clear. Next it is the Scott over here. So like that, I want to get all the e names whose name got only 5 characters over here, having only 5 letters here. How we can write the query?
Select star from
Select
employee
star
where
from, emp where
name, e-name, like,
like
in quotes, we have to mention 5 unders.
5 underscore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, execute this. So you are getting only the 5 characters over here. So this is one way. Another way where I am going to use the function. So in SQL functions, we'll come across this function like a length function over here. Okay, I don't want to mention the underscore over here. So directly I'm using the length function over here, like select e name from my table name where length. So this is syntax over here. So where it is the length.
Length is equal to 5.
Length is equals to 5. If you're going to give length is equals to 5, what happens here? Directly you're mentioning length is equals to 5. It shows as an invalid identifier. When you're using this length, which column you need? We need the ename column. That column you should mention here. That you are mentioning is equals to 5. So obviously, according to this length functionality, which column, ename column. So you can able to find only the 5 characters over here, the 5 letters here. So this is one way. Okay. So I'm not going to use it with a like operator. If you're going to use it with a like operator only, according to the requirement over here, where we're using underscore. If I'm not going to use the like operator, you're using with a length over here. So where length of the particular column here. So where it is the 5 over here. Okay. You'll be having another doubt. So here in the select clause, you mentioned one column over here. And here you mentioned like a employee number over here. So, okay. So what happens in this case now?
Error.
Error. So why it shows as error first thing? Why it is showing error over? No rows has been written. In our table, we are having records over here. So length of employee number. Don't have any length like 5 over here. Okay. So it is not giving you any output. So where you are giving like employee number 4, will it give us the output here?
Yes.
Because all the employee numbers, the length we are having 4, like 7566, 7369, the length over here. So obviously it is showing all their e-name over here. So it will work. Here you can mention one column here and the length you are mentioning another column. So according to the length, according to the condition, it will give you the output here, right? So next query, list the employees who name got double L. So where double L means it will be in our table, we don't have any name starting with double L. So you can able to find here. So anywhere, so Alan in between only we are having double L. Same way in between only we are having in Miller also we are having double L over here. Okay. So what happens in this case? I should get only 2 records. Only 2 records I have in double L. So how we can execute? How we can write the select clause here?
Select
Select ename from EMP.
Select star from select ename from
select star
EMP
EMP where
where
mm,
ename
ename like
double L in both percentile. Percentile, double L,
percentile, double L, percentile, exactly. So when you execute this, so you can able to see in between, as I told, percentage, many characters over here. So it will consider one character also. So it's Ellen and Miller over here, right? So display the name, display the employee wise names having second letter as L in employee table. Second letter we need L over here.
Hyphen L.
Hyphen L. Hyphen, we don't have anything in our like operator, right? Hyphen or underscore.
underscore.
It's underscore.
Underscore.
Yeah,
Percentage.
it's underscore. We don't have anything hyphen here. It is underscore. So obviously what happens here? It is only one name. Why it shows only one name over here, and why previously it shows for the Miller over here? In the Miller, it is the third letter. Right. In the Miller, it is a third letter,
Yes.
double L. So here it is a second letter. So where you use underscore. Underscore means represent only one character here. So according to that, we got this output. So this is how we use this like and like operator over here, right? Same way, not like. So in the same syntax, if I'm going to mention like, select ename from my emp table where ename not like. So obviously what happens now?
Miller.
Hmm.
Except this record remaining will display.
Except. So what happens here? Not only Miller it is considering. So here what happens here? Miller also it is showing. So how it is showing here? You mentioned only one underscore. Miller is having double L in the third one. That too. Miller is having third character only. But obviously what happens here? Apart from this particular, it shows all the records over here when we're using this not like operator, right? Any doubts in this? So previously we came across when we're using this data dictionaries over here, right? If you want to find one particular table or a particular where we use this data dictionaries under DB objects. So we came across where we use this like operator. So I'm not going to discuss that. If you want, I'll write only one query over here. So select star from DBA underscore objects. So where I mentioned like where object not like, so object not like. So where I'm using the, we are having in our example also. So where not like a percentile. So what happens now in this query? Object, whether it is object or object underscore name. So it is object underscore name, not like a percentile. So what happens in this case here? How it will execute now? Apart from the object name like a and many multiple characters, you can able to find all the records over here, right? DB objects, entire set of objects over here, whatever it has been created, a table, view, synonym, anything, any owner, it can be a sys or it can be apps over here or it can be a Scott over here. So apart from this particular name, so you can able to find also the object name anywhere, eliminating the a percentage over here. So starting with a, we cannot able to find any object name over here, right? When we are using this, not like operator. Is it clear? Any doubts in this? So you can go through with this. Okay. So next we are having this is null and not null over there. Is null and not null. So what do you mean by this is null? It is used to compare not only is null and not null, both are used to compare the null values over here. It is used to search for the null values in a given output here. So supports with all types of data types. When we came across null also we told it will be supported in all types of data type over there. So here also it's same, no changes here. So where you are writing the query like select star from table name where column name is null. So for example, we are having one example like list the employees who are not having commission. So how we can write a normal simple select clause here? So when you're using this is null, how we can use the select clause here? So this is our table. In our table, in our commission column, do we have any null over here? First of all, we don't have any null over there. So obviously, if I'm going to write the select query like select star from emp table where commission is null. So obviously, what happens now?
Is null.
Will it show any record here or not?
No records.
No record. No.
Suppose I don't have any null into my particular emp table under the column commission column, I don't have anything null. If it is null, I want only the null to be, I want to get only the null as the output over here. So where we are using is null over here. So in case just we'll check with our another table we are having, right? So we'll just
MGR column we have null, ma'am.
MGR column we have null. They changed MGR column. Okay, here we'll change it to the MGR. So MGR is null. So obviously what happens here? It shows only the null. So where you're using. So same thing, select star from emp table where MGR is not null, using the not null over here. Now what happens now?
Remaining columns will come.
Other than null, other than null you can able to find or null. It is eliminating the null over here, right? When you're using it like is not null. When mjar is null, only the null column will be displayed. When we are using the operator like is not null, it is used to search for the not null value only in the given output here, right? Obviously it shows eliminating the null and remaining records you can able to find here. Okay. So where previously we used the commission over here. So we are taking the commission here. Select star from EMP where commission is not null. So obviously what happens now? How many records I can find now?
15.
15 records you can able to find. So you can able to see 15 records over here, right? So this is how we use this is null or not null, the null operator here, right? So any doubts in this? So these are all the operators over here, like arithmetic we completed, logical we completed, relational we completed. So special operators also we completed. So we will discuss set operators in our next class, right?
Okay.